A lot can happen in a year. This year I have been on over 60 podcasts. Not all of them are out yet. I've written another book. I've traveled the country, spoken to thousands of people. And me 1 year ago just was such a different person. Mentally, professionally, the way I saw myself. I have done a lot in a year. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how you can really change your life. As cliche as it sounds, as motivational as that sounds, it's true. You have the power to change your life. And we might think, oh, it's going to take me 5 years, it's going to take me 10 years, it's going to take me 20 years. But it might just only take one. Get your notebooks. This is going to be a good one. So 1 year ago today, I had a video made of me that is just a professional highlight of who I am, what I do, and why organizations should book me. And when I had that done, I spent like $1,500 on it, so 1,500. It was the most expensive thing I had ever bought in my life. And I tell you that to say, you have to be willing to invest in yourself, even when the results aren't there. Because I did that before I had this office. I did that before I was on all the big stages. I did that before I had all of the proof. I believed in myself enough to say, I'm going to invest in this. I'm going to take this step. I'm going to jump even when I don't feel ready. I'm going to figure it out. And that's the first point I want to share with you. In life, you have to really believe in yourself. We all heard that. We all heard just believe in yourself. You can do it. Go for it. But how do I believe in myself before I have the proof? Because if you've already made $1 million and somebody asks you, hey, do you think you can make 100,000? Of course you can because you have 1 million. But if you have zero and someone says, hey, do you think you can make 100 million? Of course I can't because we don't have any proof. So, how do we believe in ourselves before we have results? And the answer, at least what I did, complete and utter delusion. You need to be delusional with a plan. Hear what I mean by this. You need to believe in something that you can't see right now, but you have a plan to get there. You have, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and I've gotten a little bit of results. I got 5 likes on a YouTube video. That means 5 people cared enough about what I had to say to thumb up the video. So if I just keep doing this, I'm going to grow. And in the process, you figure things out. But you also have to be aware that as you're working towards it, whether that be going to college, whether it be going to the gym, starting your own business, whatever it is, there's going to be people who doubt you. There's going to be people who have bad opinions. And you have to remind yourself they can keep their opinion to themselves. I don't have to listen to that. Because if your dreams are up here, but you listen to people whose dreams are down here, the only thing they can do is bring you down. You need to find people, whether that is online content creators such as myself, whether it is other people who do what you want to do. So, if you want to become a bodybuilder, listening to other bodybuilders. If you want to become a brain surgeon, listening to other brain surgeons. If you want to improve your grades, becoming friends with the smartest kids in class, you want to surround yourself with people who think on the level that you're trying to get to. You want to put yourself in rooms that stretch you. That's the second point. Surround yourself with what you want to be. So, I have a membership to the National Speakers Association of Philadelphia. It cost me like $300. And every time I want to go to a meeting, I had to pay like $60 for a ticket or something. And I'm in these rooms with people who are significantly older than me, and a lot of them have been doing professional speaking longer than I've been alive. So I'm around people who are light years ahead of me. These people have assistants and they are just very far ahead of me. And that's not me putting myself down. It's just me saying, hey, I've been on 60 podcasts. These people have been on thousands. I've done hundreds of speaking events. These people have done tens of thousands. Well, not tens of thousands, but you get the point I'm making here. And being around them, I learned things that are just blowing my mind. And you have to be willing to admit you don't know. You had to be willing to admit you don't know. When I go into these meetings, of course I'm respectful, and when they ask me questions, I share what I know and they share what they know. So we all respect each other. But I'm willing to admit I don't know. For somebody who talks as much as I do, I know when to shut up and listen. When they start talking, I get out my notepad and I start writing stuff down. Even if it sounds like it's only a small detail, I write it down because you never know. And you have to find people who are on the level you want to be on. Now, in the process, you're going to have to let go of people who aren't on that level. You have to be willing to say, hey, my friend from third grade might be family members, could be a romantic relationship like your boyfriend or girlfriend. They're not equally yoked. In the Bible, that's the way they word it. It just means that they're not compatible. One of you is left, the other one is right. It's not to say that they're a bad person or that they're not good. No, it just means that they're not on the same trajectory. They're not on the same path. And you have to be willing to let go of people. You have to be willing to say, where I've been is not where I'm going. So I have to forget the past in order to move to the future. And that could be hard. It can be really hard to let go of people that you've known for so long, people that you love and care about. But you have to care about your dreams enough to let go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Because in order for me to have gotten this office, in order for me to have, the webcam and the ring light and go on all these podcasts and travel the country and do all these great things, there's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made. That's the next point we're going to get into. Sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to stop doing? Most of life isn't about what we do, it's about not doing what isn't good for us. Let me reword that in a more clear way. Most of life isn't about what we do, it's about what we don't do. Because if you want to become successful in whatever the thing you want is, maybe it's improving your grades, it might be get a girlfriend, it might be lose weight, it might be go to college, whatever it is. The list of things you need to do is like this. The list of things you don't need to do is like this. So, in this list right here is all the people, places, and things that are bad for you. Right here is what you need to do. You can simplify my business and my day to day life down to some very simple things: making content, sending emails, going to the gym, reading, journaling, and talking to my family. Though that's really the only thing that I do. So, it's a very small list. But that very small list, when we focus on what we need to focus on, we get to where we want to go. Because when you're driving, there are so many different streets you can go down. But if I want to go from street A to street B, I have to focus on A, B. If I get sidetracked and I go down C and then I go down D and then I go down E and F and G and I, what could have taken me a year is going to end up taking 15 because you got so sidetracked. That's another point I'm going to bring up. Focus. You have to control your focus. You need to focus on what matters. When I go on these podcasts, we go in and I focus on that specific subject. We might be talking about something like overcoming childhood trauma. We might be talking about mental health recovery. We might be talking about entrepreneurship. There is a very specific subject, and we stay focused on that. Whereas in my YouTube videos, I just make whatever I want to make. I have a subject that I go in with, and then within that, I just allow myself to flow. I allow myself to be free, and I let it come naturally. That'll be the next point. Stop trying to force yourself to be someone and something that you're not. Because what I mean by this is that if you want to go from where you are now to where you want to be, me now is a lot different than who I used to be. So you could say I became someone that I was not. The person I am today is not who I was back then. I became someone else based on what I wanted to be, based on what I decided is my dream version of myself. I did not become what other people wanted me to be. So, when I say things like you don't have to be somebody else, what I mean by that is you don't have to be what other people want you to be. Instead, you just have to be who you want to be. Because at the end of the day, it is your life. You have to live it in a way that you're proud of. So, what I'm going to close out with is the fact that you have to define your values. You have to think about the dream version of you. Who do I want to be? Where do I want to be in life? What kind of money do I want to make? What kind of relationships do I want? What kind of health do I want? What is my dream version? What are their values? What do they do each day? Are they good with time management? Are they productive? Do they eat healthy food? Who are the kind of people that they hang around? How do they spend their day? What kind of things and activities do they do? Now, also, what do they not do? And this is the hard part. Looking at yourself today, looking at what you currently do, and saying, what baggage do I need to let go of that can't come with me to that? What do I need to let go of? I've had to let go of a lot of people, family, friends, relationships, in order to be where I am today. I'm not going to give you all the details of it right now, but there was a relationship I had a little over a year ago. And what happened was, as we were together, I just noticed things were very stagnant. Like, I had a plan in my head of, okay, at the time, I was working at a fast food restaurant. But I had a vision in my head of like, okay, I'm going to become a speaker. I'm going to sell these books. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And I was taking so much action towards it. I wrote like 3 books during that relationship. I got in the gym a lot more. I really did a lot. And I just didn't see her growing. And I was trying to help her. I was trying to say, hey, let's do X, Y, Z. Let's try to like, achieve something. And she just didn't want to put in the work. And as much as it pained me to, I had to break up with her and leave that relationship because I knew she can't come. Like, she can't come. And that's one of the hardest decisions that you're going to have to make at some point. Letting go of a person that you love, but you have to love the dream. You have to love the vision. You have to love the purpose. You have to love where you're going more than everything that is currently here. You had to be willing to metaphorically chop off your arm in order to save the body. You had to be willing to break up with people, leave. You had to be willing to do things that stretch you way out of your comfort zone in order to be comfortable in the identity that you want. To become someone that you've never been, you have to do things you've never done. To go somewhere you've never been, you have to start when you're not ready. You have to jump even when you're scared. If you want to go skydiving, that's a perfect example. You have to jump even when you're scared. That's how it works. You get on the plane, they open the door and they say, jump. And you're like, no, but I'm scared. They say, jump. No, but I'm scared. Jump. No, but I'm scared. And then they'll kick you out. And then they'll say, figure it out. That's how life is. When you say, I want to achieve this thing, I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to have a straight A, I want to get this dream relationship, I want to become a doctor or a lawyer. It's like God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, says, okay, this is what you want, and things get set into motion immediately. You'll start to meet people, you'll start to have experiences, you will start to have ideas that are perfectly in line with where you want to go. And that fear and that doubt comes up and says that, oh, we're just testing you. We're just making sure. Like, are you really about what you say you're about? Are you really committed to this? Are you willing? This is what I had to do. When I saw that contract to get this office and I saw how much it was going to be, that doubt in the back of my head said, are you really about to put up this money for that? When I saw the contract for me to get those videos made, and that doubt comes up and it says, are you really about it? And I said, yes. And I signed that and I put up that money. And every month when that bill hits, I put up that money. When I decided I'm going to write these books, I'm going to speak on these stages, and that fear and that doubt comes up, and it's like, are you really about to go out there and speak in front of 400 people and just motivate them and inspire them and help them and give them what you know and leave them with an impact so incredible that they go home and their whole life changed? Are you really about it? And I said yes. And another point that just came to my head right now is that a lot of times our fears and our doubts happen because we're so in our head about ourselves. I genuinely believe that our purpose in life has something to do with helping other people. For me, speaking on these stages and these podcasts and making these videos, yeah, I love it. I enjoy it. I like when people, tell me, hey, Lawrence, I loved your video. But the reason I really do it is because I want to help them. I want people to feel better about themselves. I want them to know that they matter. I want them to learn something that might change their life. Like I've had people message me things like, Lawrence, this video really helped me. I'm feeling inspired. Keep it up. I'm loving the content. Man, me and my family were doing better. I got out of a toxic relationship. I had people messaging me some really nice things. And maybe you want to become a doctor. Yeah, money is cool. Like, doctors make a lot of money and it's a cool job, but you're saving people's life. Maybe you want to become a pastor or a rabbi or something. And yeah, it's cool to get up there, help people feel better. But what you're really doing is helping them to get closer to God, Allah, source, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you want to become a like nurse. You're taking care of the sick. Maybe you want to become a teacher. You're building the next generation of thinkers and leaders. Maybe you want to become a president. What you're really doing is you're helping a country. Maybe you want to become a personal trainer. You're helping people to get in shape and feel better about themselves now they're healthy and they can play with their children because they're in better shape. Maybe you want to become a elderly care agent. I don't know what the exact term is, but the people who take care of elderly people. You're helping people to enjoy their last couple years. Whatever your thing is. Maybe when they become a basketball player, you're entertaining people. You're showing them a way to relax and enjoy themselves. You are inspiring the next generation of basketball players like Michael Jordan and LeBron James did. A lot of people became basketball players because of them. So, point is this: you can achieve a lot in a year if you believe, if you're willing to take action even when you're not ready, and if you understand that it's bigger than you. It's a lot bigger than you. All these speeches I do and these podcasts and these YouTube videos and the books, it's bigger than me. And that's going to get you through the hard times. The time when the money not coming in, the views not coming in. When you understand it's bigger than you have a bigger reason to wake up and go for it than just making some money. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can also find my books in the link below, as well as getting a one-on-one coaching call with me. Have a good one.